So here with the 2 racks here on Data C. Well, it makes sense. You know, you go swimming on Data C, but Dark does have an Overlord in position. He's going to scout this right around the time that the barracks complete. At least the first barracks will be done. So drone pulls are not going to be the solution, but this is hatch gas pool, folks. So this is the standard Zerg opener, but that doesn't mean it's also the greediest potential opener. So by going hatch gas pool, it does mean, of course, that your pool is a little bit later, lings pop out a little bit later, and the key thing here, Dark does scout his opponent, but he does not let his opponent know that he has scouted him. So it means both barracks will complete. Dark is now going to pull drones, not to cancel the barracks, because that's not possible anymore, but to delay the Marines to get on top of them. Now, of course, on the flip side, the goal of a 2 racks here in modern StarCraft 2 is not to kill hatcheries. You'd love to do it. It'd be great. But that has not been the solution for quite a while. Instead, your goal is to kill as many workers as possible. Ideally, it's 7. As the bunker's going up the high ground, which of course forces a drone pull, and a decent amount of damage done on that SCV to start. Every little bit of HP is important right now, as now the drones are going to get pulled. Good target fire here from here to start. 1 worker goes down, make it 2, make it 3, but microing backwards. So many. Yeah, this is absolutely enough. He's going to get so many here. Dark has pulled all the workers. He's only got a single Marine. I guess he's gotten 2, but 7 workers have fallen. 2 more are zoned out. The bunker is still on the way, and folks, an SCV has not fallen. So Dark here can go and he can rebuild that one until right next. He's just going to cancel it. He says, I've gotten enough. This is fine. This is absolutely what you want. A couple lings are going to show up, but there are 4 Marines here. You don't fight that. So really now the timing that keeps Dark totally safe are going to be his queens, are going to be his additional lings, but he had to build a bunch of lings to keep himself safe because he did not knock the Marines down. But now they're going to go on the low ground with SCVs buffering. And by the way, SCVs have repaired themselves, so they sit there a solid 110 HP of things that don't do a lot of damage, but again, they will buffer HP for the Marines as Cure continues to build more and more. He's not floated his barracks back just yet. Really, in part, this is a result of the success he found earlier. He says, look, I can continue to put pressure on. And Dark is his response. He says, I gotta go gasless. I cannot build speed anymore, which means this will be most likely a roach play. As Ling's looking for the surround, but there are so many Marines that didn't even get the surround here. I'm not sure it's going to be all that great. 1 queen gets very low. The Lings now, they're going to try to get on top of things, but oh, Cure is microing backwards here. But the 3rd queen gets added in, and yeah, sure, he forces the Marines out. Dark does, but that was 5 more drones. That was 10 Lings. And he still builds more Marines. Like, he is okay with this setup. He has found so much value. In fact, up until about 345, Cure was leading in workers. Some Marines, the Hellion's going to try to die for. Oh, Queen. He's going to knock it down. There we go. Hellion. Well, actually, maybe not. Marine's got a right for backwards. And oh, great micro here from Dark. Actually, man, he keeps that Queen alive on 5 HP. 1 more shot of anything would have killed it. I know I'm less of an. I think I would have. If at that point, I feel like you just kind of go in and you target. As the Queen runs away, you just target drones. Knocking down that Queen would have been incredible. Really culling the creep spread, really curtailing injects. But in fairness, Dark is already on 5 queens. So one at that point, probably not worthwhile. So it's going to be Hellion Banshee as the name of this game from here. It makes sense. It's safe. It's comfortable. And he's going to do a good job with the creep spread. Hellion's diving into the natural because he knows there are not going to be any links here. They all died earlier, and Dark's going to be greedy as he can. So 2 more workers will fall. Make it look like that. Oh, look at this wall here. Actually, the drone's on the high ground. What an incredible job there from Kira. Or from Dark. Yes, that was scary, and yes, he did only get 1 Hellion. But 2 volleys of Hellions kill infinity drones. That was well handled there by Dark. Good splits, good hold position on the ramp to make it so the Hellions couldn't dive into the main base. But again, the Hellion count continues to increase. As Dark pulls the wounded Hellion home, he says, repair me! I have been valued. I have been valuable. I have both kills. Dark made sure to keep the Hellion that had both kills on it alive because, it's important. Got to get those units promotions, right, folks? StarCraft is very clearly a game where the more kills a unit has, the more effective it is. Anyway, 4 Hellions now outside of the third base. Going to put pressure on there, but there are 3 queens. So really, you shouldn't get all that much, but this is distracting because that Banshee looks to dive in, but not quite yet. Not just yet. Of course, it's only singular Banshee anyways, so you want 2, really. 2 Banshees, 1-shot workers. 1 Banshee takes a little bit longer, and when there are spores and queens everywhere, it's a problem. So Kier has this third base on the way. Stim about halfway done. He's got no E-base. He's got an armory on the way, but no E-base. So I guess he just wants quick. Is this going to be like a 3-base stim help? This is going to be a 3-base stim Hellbat timing. Cool. Interesting. So we're going to have to see how this one works out for the man. Dark's got his 4th base and a macro hatch in the main. As it looks like he will, in fact, be going, not for the Roach Warren. He did stay gases for a while, but he was able to keep himself alive long enough. His speed is now done. Just going for a pure Lingbane setup. He's only on, what is it? He's on 5 gas. So, yeah, eventually, Lingbane Hydra looks like the name of the game from here at this point. But the Marines, they're going to arrive. How many of them do we have? We got about 10. So, medevac and a half, and the Hellbats, they morph as well. But no Banelings on the map right now whatsoever. In fact, it's only 13 Lings. Dark has caught, Tark has been caught being a little bit greedy, but how many queens does he have? It's 9. 9 is a good number. 9 is something you can absolutely stay alive with, but again, with stimmed bio, makes life a little bit more complicated. 13 Banelings are on the way. The transfuses are good for the moment. How good are your splits here, Cure? And the answer is, well, decent, but not going to be good enough. All the Hellbats will fall down. The queens are still all alive here. Dark pulls this one easily, and he gets the medevac. Not the one with that had a lot of stuff in it, but he does get the medevac, and that will force everything back. And behind this, another round of drones. 13 of them. Banshees looking for a little bit more, but they're not well controlled. They are not well controlled. Now they are, as Cure puts them all together, but if he just shift-clicked a bunch of drones, that could have been maybe not worthwhile, but more worthwhile. More valid. Because, of course, Dark was all distracted by microing at the front. You got to transfuse your queens and make sure the Banelings get good connections. So if your Banshees, shift-clicked it through a mineral line, it is worth a lot of value. While that might move forward, group spread gets denied, and Banelings will die for individual Banes, but Marine for a Bane is absolutely what you're looking for. So now Cure does have his 1-1 on the way. He's not going to have the big timing advantage he could have had because he did go for that stimmed bio 3-base Hellbat timing weirdness. He went for it, didn't work, but he will not have a big upgrade. He died. Sure, you already have an armory. I guess he's just caught in the. I highly doubt this is going to be for double armory upgrades. So it seems like Cure just got caught in the repetition of, oh, okay, my 1-1 is about halfway done. I need to build an army. Well, no, Cure, you already have one. But push on the right side now on this 4th base of Dark, and the bio, it's a decent amount of bio. That being said, it's Lingbane Hydra equal an army supply to what Cure has, and that is just not a good situation for Cure. As we got to pause. Okay, so now we got the push going, and here's the game is unpaused. While trying to stem on top of things, maybe getting on top of a Hydra. There's so many Hydras and so many Lings and so many Banes. I mean, this is just doesn't feel like a push that Dark's going to be able to get too much done with. Now, his upgrades are done right around the same time as Cure's. In fact, he's going to have full 1-1, and it's only going to be +1 attack. But Dark timing his attack up with that +1 attacker. Tank's trying to target down what they can. Getting actually a lot of Banes not really available. A couple Banes coming in from far, far, far away. And the target fire is nice, but at the end of the day, Dark cleans everything up with ease. Now we're going to have to see if he's going to be able to find any value on the other side of the map. Flooding forward here, sitting up about 10, 12 army supply. And this army that he's got is rather effective. Now, Queens will have to get transfused. The Banshees continue to look for value. They're not really going to get it. So Dark says, okay, well, I got my 5th base on the way. I'm on 78 workers. We're going to see another round of drones come up rather soon. As again, Cure tries to exploit the bottom side. They really can't do all that much, and we gotta point out Dark's group spread is really good this game. Certainly on the north side, it's a little bit constrained on the bottom side because that's where Cure has been pushing. But for right now, we're gonna see the Lings. They're gonna surround this 4th base. They're just gonna 1A it, and it's dead. It's not even canceled. That's a problem there. Cure needs to find some value now. as his economy really shut down, only on 69 workers. Nice. But the big thing, of course, he doesn't really have a fourth base on the way. So we're going to see Dark targets down one medevac, at least the low one. And Kjur trying to target this. The hatch is getting rather low, but there's a spore here now. And the tanks, well, they're going to force Dark back for the most part. Drones have been pulled away. And Dark just looking for a little bit more. Bailey's actually good target fire there from Kjur. And he's going to force him back. That medevac, oh, so low, but he doesn't quite have the target fire for it. Dark's got a decent amount of army on the north side. And we really don't have most of his army here because he's waiting. Right, he's waiting for those Vipers to complete. He might even just give this base up. He probably can't afford it, especially considering he just denied the fourth base. Some good Bailey connections there. Gets the medevacs as well. So now the base can go back to mining. Now the base can be everything that Dark wants it to be, although he's not even really mining from it. I think he's pulled all of his drones, yeah, to the north side. They're a little oversaturated, but it's fine. He's got another base on the upper north side. And while this pushing position from Kjur is really scary, Kjur doesn't have a fourth base on the way. I mean, he's got it now again. And it looks like it will complete this time, but even still, that's a significant delay. But at this point, Dark says, okay, look, you got too much bio here. You got 2-2. Surely it's just about done. I don't know that I want to take this fight. He's still transfusing because this is forcing Kjur to commit into this position. Meanwhile, on the north side, that drop is going to be dealt with. Dark saw the drop earlier, but now Ling Fane's coming in from the right side. And there we go. With the Vipers down, tanks are going to get abducted. So now there's no longer that really terrifying pushing position that Kjur has on the bottom side. He's got one tank sieged, one unsieged. And that really is all that he has. The Vipers, yeah, they're going to go back. They're going to get a little bit more energy, but now Dark feeling very confident in this position because he's got Vipers now. He doesn't really have to worry about these tanks nearly as much as the Bio stems forward, but well, the Vipers show up, and there they go. They're going to lead the charge. Lings and Banes and Hydras on the ground, abducting the tank. There we go. Good target fire there. One lurker goes down, but the second one stays barely alive. And now tanks are not where they need to be. But of course, folks, this is double factory siege tank. More and more tanks are on the way, despite the value that Dark has found. And now we have Kjur maxed out here. Dark going around the corner. Corners the Zerg's worst enemy, but he's still going to get on top of all these Marines. Target fire there on the Banes from the tanks, and they will be the bane of Dark here. The tanks looks like they will all fall, at least two of them, but that was a fantastic move there for Kjur. Even still, though, on the north side, looks like this base, the upper left, is going to get dealt with. Banshees finding value, and we're going to see the base go down here as well. 8, 9, 10 workers have gone down. Kjur finding his opening in this game. He gets a base. In fact, he's going to get 2, and his base stays alive. The planetary will be there, run by only getting 3 drones to the 13 SCVs, or 13 probes, excuse me. Wow. Only gets 3 SCVs to the 13 drones. There we go. Dark loses the bottom side. He keeps the north side base alive. So we do have that. Banshees looks like they have been dealt with for the most part. I guess Abducts will be there. And ooh, Bio's going to get a queen. There we go. Dark, of course, is able to remax. But if you look at the income advantage, it's going to start to spike much closer there. For Kjur, part of this, of course, will be the mules, but part of it also is the fact that Dark is really only functionally mining on 4 bases. But some of those are mined out. So Kjur on 4 bases is going to be a pretty happy camper. But hopefully not an actual camper, because those games are not the most fun. So he's going to find his way on the north side where this base is rather low. Ling's setting up for a run by once again, but there are tanks, there are Marines, battle, and then there's a planetary as well, so that's not going to find all that much. This base is going to go down here as well. Dark, he is a 4-base Zerg at this point, or I guess a 5-base Zerg. There we go. I can count it. No, I'm sorry, no, he's a 4th base Zerg. This base is not set up yet once again. And sure, Dark's only on 78 workers. You want more than that at this stage in the game as the Vipers run forward. And the Ghost Academy's not there just yet. Target fire trying to get these Vipers down, but good blinding clouds on the tanks on the backside. So Kjur has to give this position right up. But big tank shot on the Banelings as he runs around the corner. Finally, the blinding cloud is there. But Kjur's okay with this. He's on 4 bases. He can add a 5th command center pretty much when he wants, pretty much as soon as he maxes out. And there we go, 5th base on the way. And he's got this drop on the bottom side. It's not going to kill the base, but at least it's denying creep. It says, okay, Kjur, you can rotate bottom side. Now, this tank here as well is doing a great job of defending it. So on the north side, Kjur's going to find this army. Banes are going to come rolling forward. Well, how many tanks do we have sieged up? We have 1, we have 2. We're going to have a 3rd. You cannot attack into this position if you are Dark. But now Dark, he's got an idea. He says, well, okay, this is a little dicey, but I don't know that you're maxed out here. I don't know that your army is big enough or powerful enough yet. And by the way, Kjur's pulled a Beyond. He's forgotten his armor upgrade. So that is a problem. Granted, Dark does not have his armor up, his carapace upgrade either, but this army on the right side is going to find a bunch of Ling Bane. There are tanks there defensively. But Kjur is not totally turtled up just yet. This base will fall. The command center, you got to cancel that, but Oh, we're gonna have to see. There we go. That's actually gonna be a kill. That's the second dead command center in this game. And on the left side, crashing in. This time the tanks are gonna hold, and Dark does not get enough on the left, but he does kill a command center. And Kira's gonna have to rebuild that one. And again, Dark, how much larva does he have? Not all that much. 85 drones. They're starting to be rebuilding that economy. He's on 5 hatch ones, or 5 bases once again. And on the north side, well, Dark has that base. He has the 5th base that he's been struggling to keep this entire game. And more importantly, he's been able to go 1 base further out, which means the creep spread is going to go 1 base further out. It's going to be easier for him to hold this interior 4th. But Kira, for his part, he's got his 5th base on the way. And by the way, as much as we complain about Turtle Terran and how bad that has not been this game. This game has been really action all over the place that is just slowly going late because neither player can really break the other. Kira's his economy is not incredible. So we saw the Ghost Academy down, but he hasn't started Ghost production just yet. In fact, he has... Okay, so he's got 3 tech labs. He can build 3 Ghosts at a time. That's fine. As this drop's going to find the base on the bottom right side. A couple Lings are here, but again, this 3-3 bio, Lings by themselves, they don't deal with this incredibly well, but now more Lings are going to arrive, and that's going to be the critical mass that you need to knock this drop down. Kira just looking for as many cost-effective trades as he can. Oh, good target fire there on the Banes. Actually, yeah, look at this position. He will eventually lose this drop, I think, but the Lings, okay, they're going to get it. Wait, are they? No, he's got the math there. He gets every single little bit of it, and the target fire as well. That was, I mean, really just good positioning there from Kira. Now he's maxed out. There we go. Abduct on top of everything. The bio is going to run backwards. This base is going to get lifted, but we have so many ghosts on the map right now. Snipes are going to go down on the Hydras to keep this base alive, but it will go down anyways. Back to a 4-base Terran, but there's another command center on the way. Banelings, they knock a bunch of tanks down, but you don't want that. You need more. So on the bottom side, this drop finally will get dealt with as we finally get a chance to take a look at resources lost. It is 8,000 in the good for Kira at this point as Dark continues to mine more and more and more. But he's got a big gas bank. His mineral bank, not incredible, and he doesn't want to go into lurker counts, I don't think. And Kira has vision of this, notionally. Okay, he will stem bio on over, so this Nidus will not complete as the drop on the north side, trying to find a little bit more. Kira trying to break this game open, create the chaos that he thrives in. Or I should say that he's trying to thrive in. As another Nidus will go down. Good snipes there on the Overlord. You need more than 2 ghosts. Yeah, the Marines are going to have to kill. The 2 ghosts don't quite kill a Nidus in time. But here's the big thing. Dark is starting to take money from Kira. He's got the bottom right base. It's not mining just yet. But that is where, when we get these late game split map scenarios, that is what you have to start doing. Start taking money from your opponent, because you know eventually this Terran army can start to really take any position it wants. And it becomes very hard. It becomes very hard to keep Terran off the bases that are rightfully there. So you just mine them from them ahead of time. So we see Dark is going to try to take pretty much this entire bottom right quadrant. And then he's already taken the upper left a little bit. So it's going to be one of those games where eventually this is probably, I think at this point, maybe the Nidus gets something, but Kira's really on top of that. I think this is going to be one of those games as Dark runs forward, but not get enough, where eventually the map goes split map. And that is going to be one of those scenarios again. The Lurkers are doing a good job knocking down the Planetary. Bainley's going to get knocked down by the Dingus. SCV's going to get pulled. This is going to be dead Planetary on the right side, but now the Ghosts, they're going to run forward. And with scans out, yeah, it's going to be a couple dead Ghosts. So, you get the Planetary, but Lurkers will fall. But on this is just a distracting force. I was saying about how delayed this game was going to go, but another base is now down. Kira on 4 bases does not really have much of a bank. 1,000 minerals, 800 gas. Nidus getting dropped to the main base once again. We talked about the chaos that Kira's been looking to foment. Well, no, this is a chaos that Dark has been able to make for himself as snipes go down, and we're going to see a little bit of damage on this Nidus. I think 1 Marauder. Don't know that that is going to be enough necessarily on the north side. Here we go. Kira trying to find his way in. That's a random Viper on the back side, but it's just going to be a blinding cloud to buy a little bit more time to force Kira to micro, to force his bio to be a little bit weird. But that base on the north side will go down. The Nidus was dropped here as well. Ling's trying to get on top of things, and again, Kira, he's dropped down to about 150 supply. He has money for the moment, but I mean, this base only has 5 mineral patches. The third base only has 4, and they're getting very close to mining out 1 mineral patch in the natural, none in the main. Kira is not mining all that much whatsoever, but he's going to be able to retake that 5th base once again. Problem, though, no 6th base on the way. And here comes Dark on the right side. Tank's going to go down. Liberator's getting abducted. Only one tank is really sieged up here, and Lings are on top of him, but it's not dead just yet. These ghosts are so damn low. They need to get healed up, but they say, no, we need to snipe. We need to chase this army down. We need to punish Dark for existing. And it looks like nothing much happened on the north side. Oh, those ghosts getting very... That lurker, that undetected lurker, I think it's on hold position. Yeah, oh no, it's sending shots off. Those are such value shots right there. That was like 3 ghosts in a tank that went down from that singular lurker just because there were no scans. Lings on the north side as well. Dark is just really breaking the game open at this point. Lings are going to surround the planetary, the nascent planetary, but it will complete. And building armor is done, by the way, so it's a little bit harder now. And high-tech auto tracking. It's a little bit harder for Dark to bust the buildings of Cure. And every base that the Terran takes in this late game setup is a building, it delays the game, makes it that much harder for the Zerg to win. But we look at resources lost now, it's about 7,000 in the good for Cure. It was about 9 to 10. Dark has been trading incredibly well over the course of this game. And by the way, Dark is at 102 workers, just so we're clear. His economy was not great for quite a while in this game, but he is very happy now. He's mining the rich gas base, so he's getting a little bit more gas for the worker count. He's on this bottom right side, and Drop's going to find the base, but already money has been taken from it. And that's the big deal. If Dark gets over 50% of this base and gets any of this base, he's good. Well, I guess if Dark gets over 50% of both bases, that's the math. As we can see, this Drop trying to knock down the right side, but it's not really going to get all that much. And Cure, he can't max out. His ghost count is good, but it's not great. And these lurkers just everywhere. It feels like Cure is just not fast enough in this game, which is crazy because we have seen Cure win these ultra late games in these various scenarios. But just tonight, for whatever reason, Dark feels just a little bit faster. Cure is not reacting to things as well as he can. Another push here on the right side. Lings are going to try to get on top of the tank. Blinding Cloud, or Parasitic Bomb, excuse me, on the one medevac that was rather low. But Concave is going to be nice here for Cure. And most tanks do not go down, so lurkers have to retreat, but no ghost to really punish them for that retreat. Is now Cure trying to take his 5th base on the rich gas. But you got to scan here. How does he not have a scan? There's actually not a lot of orbitals on the map right now. This Drop does get dealt with. This orbital has 2 scans, soon to be a 3rd, but it can't land. And folks, we have how many orbitals? Where are they? We have 3 orbitals on the map. There is just not enough scan, and there's not enough detection on the map for Cure right now. He cannot deal with these lurkers. He wants to, he needs to, but he can't. So this base will be denied for quite a while. Is there burrow upgraded? Yeah, there is. I feel you just burrow. If you are Dark and you start to realize this, you just burrow things everywhere. You say, okay, that's fine. You just cannot drop scans. But Cure will get another. If Cure is able to sustain this base, life is going to be a little bit harder for Dark in the long run. But Lings are going to surround this one. The base is going to get lifted. Hot pickup, run away. 10 workers go down. We're at the point right now where honestly the worker count doesn't matter all that much. Well, no, that's not even true. There are only 3 orbitals. So you do need SCV count. 42 is not enough in this game. You don't have the mules to make up for it, especially with all the lurkers here, especially with the need for the scans, as more bases will go down. Dark committing to it. Not going to make it burn, but 18 SCVs have fallen. As here we go on the north side. A base from Dark. It's maybe going to fall, and it will. But these are trades it doesn't feel like Cure can afford because Dark has the entire bottom right side. He's got most of the left side. Mules get dropped here in a vague attempt from Cure to start to make some money. As the tank gets, yes. So you can actually shell away at, deny about half the mineral line from a tank on the high ground, which is why you just move a Viper over and abduct it down every time. This base is denied for the moment, but Lings on the right side knocking through the defenses. Tanks will continue to fall. Ghosts as well. And now Cure, now below 100 supply. It doesn't even matter about breaking this base. It's really more about positioning because there's no mining from it. But tanks continue to fall. Ghosts are going to do what they can. But Lings will just burrow. And again, there is not enough scan energy to really knock this down. The missile turret will fall on the north side. Banelings run in. 11 more SCVs go down to 89 workers to 28. And Cure taps out. He does not have enough anymore. Dark plays a masterclass on Data C, and he now goes up 1. And I love how in EPT Korea in particular, we have these eras of rivalries in the finals. So for a while, it was Beyond versus Hero. And we were getting that week in, week out, week in, week out. is Dark and Cure weren't really playing all that much, and Solar wasn't playing all that much, and it really was Dark, Cure, and Beyond Hero and Classic, like 3 contenders for Open Cups, and then maybe Scarlet plays in one when she's in Korea, maybe Astrea plays in one, maybe Rainer plays in one, but in general, Beyond and Hero were the finals. And then, well, now we seem to be entering this epoch of it being Dark and Cure in the finals all the time. Which is pretty cool because we had them pretty consistently. It's been Beyond versus Dark, or Cure versus Dark, or Beyond versus Cure. So we have that that trifecta of 3 players now that are making the finals in Korea every time. And that, as a caster, I enjoy that because it means I get to see the evolution of play. Like, for example, in 135, I believe, so about a month ago, we saw Dark play Cure and Beyond in Korea and North America back to back. Well, not the day in between, but close enough. You know how it works. But anyway, this is going to be we need to talk about this game a little bit more, as the pool first opening is going to catch Cure off guard just a little bit. Ling's trying to get on top, but really the goal here is to deny the natural. With 2 Marines out and with the reactor first opening, it's not going to be much more than that. Bunker gets dropped in the face of these Lings, and they will be forced out here. But still, it denied the Command Center just a little bit. It's not the ideal situation, which is, of course, a Reaper expand where you avoid the Reaper, because that cancels the Command Center. I totally lost my train of thought because Lings showed up. But anyway, yeah. So Dark lost to 2 TVZs in EPT 135 back to back against Cure and Beyond. He looked very good while doing so, but at the end of the day, he lost a late game on, I think it was on Stargazers both times, which is a very Terran map. But anyway, but it seems like Dark has closed out his late game a little bit more. Beyond and Cure both. Actually, Beyond won Cure won the late game on Data C. No. Dark won both, actually, but they made him look much closer. They were like 50-minute games. Dark cleaning this up much better. Ending that game in 20-25 minutes, even from a, not the best start, was pretty fantastic. But Dark has just been flooding Lings, by the way, folks. He got a 3rd base on the way, but Ling speed is done. He's not drone up. He's stuck at 26. He's just going to run right by the bunker here. Get on top of all the Marines. SCVs are going to have to get pulled to defend, but the bunker is already surrounded. SCVs cannot get the surface area that they are looking for. Ling's knocking them all down. Ling's into the main base. They will go, but no, not really, because, hey, guess what? There's a wall there. So Lings now, they got to target down all the SCVs, and then they'll be able to bust the bunker on down. More and more Lings on the way. Dark with a build that we never see, but we don't see it doesn't mean it's bad. It's working out pretty damn well for the man right here. The bunker will now go down, but of course, well, now there are Hellions here, and that will be the extent of it. 10 SCVs, a couple Marines will hit the deck here. Dark has been droning up behind this. He's at 34, but he did lose about 20 drones worth of Lings. So I'm not convinced that was worthwhile. I think if you get in the main base, it's worth. Or I think the play for Dark, he had the full surround on the bunker. I think he had to stick on that. The SCVs were not repairing, so he pulls off. He says, maybe I can dive in the main base, but it didn't really work out for him. And then he goes back to a setup where SCVs have much more surface area. They're able to keep the bunker alive longer. And then, well, it just didn't get enough. Now, Banshee in the main base is only 1, so it's not going to get all that much. But look at Cure's immediate response. He says, okay, well, you just committed about 20 larvae onto Lings, and actually more because you need to defend yourself, and not every Ling died. What am I going to do? I'm going to drop an armory. Hellions onto the other side of the map here. I know you don't have any tech. I scouted everything out. I've seen your bases. I'm going to hit you with Hellbat Banshee. And I normally hate Hellbat play. I don't think it's very good. I don't think anyone thinks it's very good, but in this game state, when Dark committed so much to, all-inning, and it didn't work, I think this is a great decision here, but I do like the spore at the front. That's going to force the Banshees back for the time being, but Marines, they rally in as the Hellbats, the Marines, the Banshees, they all run away from Creep. Queen's getting very ornery, very far forward. And Dark, well, he's supply blocks for the moment. He's got more Queens on the way, 5 Overlords at a time. But here comes the next round of the Hellbat timing with 8 Hellbats, 9 Marines. Banshees on the right side gonna get forced back. Ling's into the natural though. Dark comfortable enough that he says, okay, well, I can make a run by. I can make a counterattack happen. because you're not going to really find your way into things. I have enough queens, but folks, it's only 7. That's not an insane queen count. Certainly not with Banshees in the sky as well. Drone goes down. Dark pulls that one back, targeting down that Banshee. It's dead. Link counter. Well, actually, no, it's not, because there's no detection here. Not really. Drones are going to have to get pulled into the main base. That Ling counterattack may have been a mistake. As the Lings, it looks like they ran out of the base and back into it, into the main base. They will go Banshees in the high ground. There are 3 Banshees in the game right now. And the Lings, or the Queens, excuse me, they're caught on the ramp. So this is where the damage starts to happen. And as the drones, they're just running and running and running and running away. Hellbats looking for the surface area. 11 workers go down, make it 12. It looks like they will be able to run out, but 13 drones, so much mining time has been lost. The Queens now starting to fall. Transfuses are good, of course, but so many Queens have died. Hellbats Marines looking for a little. Oh no, 15 workers are dead. There we go. Looks like that will be the end of things. A couple more Marines, but Queens are going to knock those down. So 16 drones have died. Dark on 25 workers of the 42. He's got a bit of an army supply lead, but he's not going to bust through this, folks. There's a wall. There are Hellions behind it. And Banshees in the sky. I mean, this is just... I mean, I would love to say Dark is dead. But Dark, more than anyone else, is this player that does not know how to die. He is by far the best low eco Zerg we've ever had. So I'm very excited to see what's going to happen here. Is Hellions knocked down, a singular Ling, but Kira moving out of the map once again. He doesn't really have designs on taking this game. I mean, he's got his third base, sure, but getting the Liberators, or actually getting even more than that, does tell us he wants to push a little bit. We got a Nidus in the main base. And there's actually nothing really. Hellions and SCVs, I don't think they break this, but what's in it? Queens to start. Okay, actually, yeah, this is a problem. Lings are going to find the third base. Dark, is he going to pull a rabbit out of hat? Transfuses are going to go down, so these Hellbats are not going to kill the Nidus. And the army, okay, so let's see. Kira's on the other side of the map. He's got Hellbats. He's got Banshees that are, of course, cloaked. He's got Liberators in bases that are doing tremendous damage, but Lings are going to find their way into the natural. Queens are in the main base. Actually, Queens, they run back out of that Nidus, and they are going to be able to defend the Hellbats in the natural. I think, how much, actually not a lot of transfuse energy remains, but Lings are going to pop out here as well. 15 SCVs have gone down. Liberators sieging up everything, but it's just going to get targeted down. Has Dark done it? Has I don't think he's quite there just yet, but he has, let's see, 22 workers here for Dark, 39 for Cure. Queens are going to pop out of the main base. Liberators trying to siege up where the Nidus is, but Queens, we have 2 Nidus we can pop out of. That's a dead Liberator. Another one is here, and we're going to see the orbital start to burn down. SCVs are really the bulk of the supply, and more Lings are on the way. Queens can't really leave creep, and it takes a while for creep to get developed. In fact, the Queens, they don't really want to spend their energy on creep. They want to spend it on transfusions. So 19 SCVs have gone down. Lings forcing away at the front. Hellbat should be able to deal with this one for the most part, as we have a Roachborn on the way on 22 workers. As again, Liberators move forward. We got 3 of them now, so it's a little bit harder for the Queens to deal with this. Hellbats forward with just massive amounts of repair. Lings, they got to sit backwards. The Hellbats, they can do so damn much, but we got a Nidus in the natural. How do you defend both? One Hellbat does not kill this. The Queens now, they're stuck back into a corner, and again, the repairs are very, very nice indeed. The Queens got to run away into one Nidus, and I think we're going to see them just go right out the other No, okay, they're going to go to the natural, where there is a much easier position to attack from, as we got a second Nidus going down. And actually, that's because the first Nidus is dead. This Queen is a little bit far away, and there's actually no creep at the moment. So this Queens, they're a little bit low. The worker count for Cure continues to fall, and these Queens, they're just going to run away because the Liberator count is pretty damn fantastic. But Dark has equalized this game. Dark has 3 bases. I mean, technically so does Cure, as there's another Nidus on the way in the main. Now we're seeing Dark add roaches, which, okay, so what do we have in terms of tech? Yeah, we got W, we have an armory, but no money is going to get pounded into that one in this game. Now the Queen's popping in the main base. I think we have Ravagers here as well. Oh, look at that. The corruption there. Biles is going to drop. It's going to get 1 Liberator. Now, of course, you run back with the Ravagers, and it's not the easiest. You don't want to get in Liberator range, is the thing, but you drop 3 Biles. There we go. Only 1 Liberator remains. So you're going to have to go up, and now here becomes the buyout. Running forward. More and more roaches. You got to pop them out of the base, though. You got to pop them out of the Nidus. Biles is going to get dropped. The Liberator will fall, and more roaches are on the way. Dark has taken. I don't know how he's done it, but Dark has taken game number 2 with Nidus, with Queens, with Roaches, with everything he could possibly want. He's got creep in the main base. There's no breaking this anymore. That tank will never complete, and if it does, it's just going to die immediately. Dark has to tap out in what has to be a sucker punch, and Dark is up 2-0. So a Reaper expand from Cure in game number 3. No early pool from Dark, so we're going to get a much more standard game in this, what might be the final game of this series. Reaper's going to show up, and actually Dark has committed, what is this, 6lings? Yeah, okay, it looked like more for a second. Dark committed to 6lings, which is the whole, you don't want to lose any. Right, the calculus that, oh, and he will not lose any. Good job on the Queen pops out just in time. Ooh, Reaper's gonna be fine. And because the Reaper took so much damage trying to knock a Ling down, it means the creep tumor is gonna be on the very edge of creep. But where do we go from here? If I'm Dark, I just play a standard game. I just do whatever I can to play this game out to 10, 15 minutes. Or earlier if you can kill him. But Cure has shown us that he does not win the late game. Dark tore him apart on Data C in map 1. And Cure has shown us that even if Dark, he gets massively ahead, Dark comes back. And actually, Cure has been a little bit lacking in the mid to late game. He did win 3-2 against Dark about a month ago. But I think back to the Gladiators Cup where he played against Cyril, and he actually got about similar amounts of damage that he got in the last game. He killed 20. Actually, no, not even as much. No, okay. It was a 30 drone. I think it was a 34 drone Roach Ravager timing from Cyril. Anyway, that doesn't get anything done. Cure moves across the map with Hellbat Marauder. After holding that, he gets about 22 workers. Cyril's massively far behind. It's not Moondance. It's such a good Terran map. And then Cyril says, haha, I'm going to go Mutas. I'm going to kill you 7 minutes later. We saw a similar thing happen here. I mean, not Mutas, it was Nidus, but I guess still technically air tech, where Cure gets insane damage done against Zerg, and then he just dies over the course of the next 5-6 minutes. It seems like he almost, when he gets this far ahead, it just causes problems. And while we speak of the devil, talk about, and I guess he shall appear, talk about Hellbat Marauder timings. That's what we got coming in from Cure in this game number 3. And this can work if you're caught off guard. But already there are 7 queens on the map, and Dark's going to 8. He's going to go to 9. The heavy queen count is just so good against stuff like this. You're just able to kite. Now, of course, with Marauders, with concussive shells, you cannot kite quite as well. Okay, so armory halfway done. How many Hellions? This is going to be, what, about 6 Hellions? 8 Hellions? Yeah, 8 Hellions. Actually, we're going to go to even more than that. It's going to be 10 Hellions on the map. Dark may have some idea that this is happening, just really pure and simply because the Hellions have not been as aggressive on the map as they might normally be. But okay. We got the Bailey Nest just about done. Ling's starting to get pumped a little bit, and we have 21 of them. So that should be enough. As notice the Hellbats, they are morphing off creep as they get ready to waddle on forward. A couple Marines in here as well. This is a committed timing coming in by our Korean Terran. He's going to drop the Marauders right on top of things. One queen gets low, but it should be transfused here. Ling's looking for the surround, but the Hellbats on the backside doing a great job as Dark trying to kite away. We got 3. Wait, what do we got? We got 5 Banelings morphing in on the right side. You got to knock you got to knock the Hellbats down, and you will be okay. Spine here as well, but Queen's starting to fall. Now, only 5 of them that remains. Ling's looking for the surround as these Hellbats get lower and lower and lower. Queen's now there a little bit clumped forward. Ling's on the backside trying to knock it all down, but nothing. They don't get what they need. 2 spines here, though, from Dark. Looks like that will be enough. And yeah, Ling's die, Queen's die. But Dark should be okay. Ling's looking for the surround, looking for those Bailey connections. They will get them. Only Marauders on the right side. I guess there's 1 Hellbat in that spot. But Dark will be able to shove back. So at the end of the day, Dark loses a lot of stuff. He loses 6 Queens, 48 Lings, and a Bane. But he holds back Cure's aggression. That means while Cure does have his 3rd base on time, his upgrades are going to be delayed. Now, of course, also Darkstar, he does not, I don't even know that he's Evos necessarily. And this push from Cure does continue. He's got more Marauders, got more Hellbats. Is this timing going to bowl over Dark as he tries to run up behind it? It doesn't look like it. He's got Baneling speed on the way. He's building more Banes. It seems like he should be okay. Okay, into this pocket position between the natural and the third, we will go. Good kiting here from Cure. The Banelings will continue to fall. Dark's fourth base really delayed in this game because, of course, that time it hits right when you want to take the fourth, so you don't have the money for it. So fourth hatchery only just now about halfway done. Fifth base on the way as well, or fifth hatch, excuse me. It's in the main base. It's macro hatch. But Dark feels comfortable enough that he drops the Hydra Den. Now, I gotta point out his upgrades. They're not really in the best spot as now. Cure rotates north side, and the Queens are out of position. I think Cure's gonna be, yeah, Cure gets the space. Dark already expanding on the right side, but this is a 3-base Zerg versus a 3-base Terran, and while yes, this is only single eBay, well, I guess double eBay, but only +1 really on the way. Oh, Liberator gets 6 workers too. Dark is really starting to fall apart at the seams here as the Hellbat Marauder is going to roll in once again. Spine good defensively, and that should be able to deal with that. Liberator sieges up, and Dark not really even allowed to mine from his main base from the most part. Let's see, Dark can't get any damage on the other side. His 1-1 is on the way now, but it's going to be tremendously behind what Cure has. Hydra Den is done. Baneling speed is done, but we don't have really... We have Hydras on the way now. As Baneling run by, he's going to try to find something. It doesn't get really anything. Good control there from Cure with the stim. Ling run by on the north side. Over. Oh, he's going to get the base. Targeted down, but no, not quite enough. He leave a couple more Lings, and I think that base dies, or at least gets canceled. But Dark really would prefer to keep his Lings alive, even as the Widowmine. It only gets 2 Lings. Okay. So Dark. He has his fourth base done now. Fine. His creep spread around that fourth base is pretty abysmal. He's down a couple workers. He has to really commit his entire production to building an army to make sure he does not die from Cure. And I'm not even sure that that is going to be a thing. Cure is up 20 army supply. He's got 1 upgrade lead. He's soon going to have an armor and a 2 upgrade lead. And this is I mean, with these Hellbats to tank the Marauders as well, the Banelings, they do not get the connections they need. Widowmine from downtown doesn't really get all that much, but Hellbats get into the mineral line. And the Hydras, if there's nothing to buffer for them, they do not fight well at all. Bio-simming on top of things. We're going to see the Hydras continue to fall here, but more Lings arrive. Not enough splash, really, for Cure to push through super well, but he's just taking cost-effective trades. Lings off creep, Hydras off creep, don't really do the best. So we look at the resources lost. 2,500. Almost 3,000 in the good here for Cure in this game. As this Liberator is going to kill off a couple more workers, but will fall down as this drop... Well, okay. Cure is shoved back for the moment as this random Widowmine. I want to see it right into the mineral line, maybe. All right. Again, Cure. So he realized at this point that the game state where he can just kind of 1A push through is not really there. Widowmine's shots are going to... Oh, on a bunch of Hydras, but it takes multiple Widowmines to kill Hydras. So it's just damage, and maybe if there was more of an army there, he could have done something, but not really. The big thing in this game is, first of all, Cure has a fourth base, and Dark is really going to... In general, on this map, it's hard to take a fifth, but in this game state, it's even harder for Dark to take a fifth base. But the creep spread from Dark is abysmal. He can't get it down on the low ground. He cannot get it really past his bases whatsoever, and when your creep spread is that bad, you're really going to struggle to go, and you're really going to struggle to take that fifth. So Cure rotates on the right side, or the left side, excuse me. He's going to knock more creep spread down as the main army of Cure. Again, trying to put the pedal to the metal, knock this fourth base down. And it's only, yeah, there's a queen here, but it's only 50% HP. Cure can maybe stim on top of this, just knock it right the hell on down. One Baneling is here, and that's just going to get targeted down, I think. That's going to get a connection. Widowmine's there as well, and actually that's a decent amount of friendly fire, but even still, it's only Hydras that remain. A single Bane on the backside. This army from Cure is just better. He's got +2 attack versus just +1 armor, and, well, Cure's going to be forced back for the moment. There's so many Hydras. And looks like actually Cure will be forced back for the moment. It looked like it was good for Cure, and he's still taking great trades off creep, but the Hydras, they're doing well enough, even if they are losing their number. And of course, with this game, you do not want to lose Hydras. They are the army unit. They are the thing that you want to maintain value. You want to gain value with time and time again. So as this push happens on the north side, that means Dark is going to be a little bit exposed. More queens will fall. And without the transfuses, again, there's just not as much of an HP buffer. So Cure slowly, steadily trying to worry away like a dog with a bone. that was a big win of mine. This is the win of mine from earlier, by the way. Okay, it only got 5 workers. I thought that was getting a lot more. Secure now, he has his 5th. And as the game as it is, the Dark cannot move out on the map. He does not have a good enough understanding of where the Terran army is. Any sort of run by right now is really hard. And we look at Kier's army movement, it really is like a pincer here. Every time he moves in one position, he's moving from somewhere else as well. Doing this push me, pull you ideas. This the 22 kills on that Widowmine on the right side. The Marauders are going to kill this base. Well, I mean, if Kier stimmed, even not, he's going to knock the base down. It is a 3-base Zerg, and Dark is the best Zerg in the world, of course, at playing low eco. I'm not sure that he's... Look at resource. It is insane. The Dark has been up against this ropes for so long, and resources lost is equal. That is absolutely insane. The Hydras are going to be able to knock this drop down. I wish he would target the Medivacs, but actually with the Medivacs not going down, the Hydras will maybe not be able to deal with this one. Dark, he's got Hydras on the left side dealing with that one on the bottom right. Lurkers here, but it's only one, so it's not going to kill things quickly enough. And folks, Kier shows us that if he gets that much damage done, he will be able to take a game. Give him 2 tries. He takes the map in this series, and now, well, we're going to go to game 4. So where do we go now? It's going to be a pull first from Dark once again. And what do we got on this side of the map? It looks like a Reaper expand from Cure. And by the way, we got to point out, Moondance is the shortest map in the pool. Now, it is a big map, but natural to natural rush distance, it's 31 seconds as the drone or the SCV or the probe flies. So that means that these pool first openers into a CC on the low ground Reaper expand, so long as the Reaper, you catch it in the middle of the map, as long as your lings take the proper route, and that, well, that may not be a thing, as we SCV scout on the map coming in from Cure. And by the way, this is not just going to be pull first into lings, into drone. This is a 19 drone roach timing. So lings are going to find that one, and that means the SCV is not going to get the confirmation on the roaches. This could be 6 lings just being annoying. This could be the roaches as well. You're just going to have to respond as if this is as serious as possible. Okay, roaches are on the way. We do have a factory on the way, but no bunker just yet. Reaper looking for vision is going to see lings. What he wants to see is whether there are roaches or not. So he's going to find his way into the main base now. And actually, the queen positioning is rather nice. The Reaper eventually gets in, but it will have to second guess itself. If it gets in, it sacrifices. So lings are now going to find their way onto this command center. Ideally, Dark is going to delay it long enough for his roaches to show up, but command center is complete. And here come the roaches. And behind this, of course, Dark is droning up. This is not a Lin. It is just a pressure timing. 5 roaches, couple lings, and the natural, well, any sort of damage you do on that is kind of, you're never going to kill the natural. So we need to see the roaches rotate to the main base. Bunker is on the way. Out of range, I think, of the Ravagers. Yeah, it's out of range of the roaches, out of range of the Ravagers. Unless they want to move up the ramp, which is always a bit spooky here. Here come the roaches. Ravagers trying to knock their way through. And SCVs are not pulled just yet. This bunker is actually going to do a great job, but one supply depot will go down. Cure, he is now supply blocked, and he's going to be oversupplied rather soon. So this buys room. Ling speed is on the way, but it's not ready just yet. We're going to see the lings deny mining on the pocket base. But a cyclone is now out, which does put a timer on this. So you can maybe save 1 unit with a hot transfuse or a hot morph, but it's not going to be enough. And now Dark's going to be forced back because, again, the Cyclones are out. There are plenty of Marines where that came from. He's going to maybe hang around a little bit. But, again, eventually the lock-on, kill off all these roaches, kill off the Ravagers. He tries to micro it back, but it's not going to be enough. And the Medevac's out here as well. This opening now from Cure, what he has now, we noticed what Dark is doing. He's trying to knock down as much of the army of Cure as possible. Next down all the Marines. Well done. He's trying to make any sort of counterattack difficult to impossible. But Cure immediately going for 3CC behind this because this is Moondance, and you can do these things. It is a turtley to hell map. So actually, Cure, if he's able to get, I mean, it's just a single Cyclone. This is the kind of thing that kills an Overlord maybe That's going to be just about it. But because Dark went for this opener and it didn't get enough done, and we'll get an Overlord, Dark is going to be forced to take the pocket base as we see the Overlord or the drone getting ready. Well, actually, this Overlord maybe doesn't go down with transfuses. No, it's dead. Okay. Dark not supply blocked though with 60 more links on the way. Dark, oh, okay. Again, he's going for the same thing that he did on Waterfall, which by the way was a map that he won, but not because of the Ling flood. It was because of everything else. The Lings now they're going to try to find their way in, but that's just not enough of them, and that might just be ringing the alarm bells here for here. SCVs are going to get pulled out of the third base, and this Cyclone actually has kill threat on the hatchery, so Lings have got to run home. Dark. He built a lot of links. He tried to stream across the map, but now they're just useless. So Cure is in even really a better position. Well, I'm not going to say an even better position just yet because he didn't kill 20 workers, but at least at this stage of the game is honestly even in an even better position than he was on Waterfall. So folks, I'm not saying it's going to happen just yet, but it's looking somewhat likely that we will again go to game number 5 in this matchup, which would be exciting, which would be fantastic. Dark and Cure, 5 game sets, nothing better. I still can't get over the fact that Waterfall, which is of course it's not this map, we played it earlier, but similarly short map. Actually, it's 2 seconds longer, natural to natural. But I can't get over the fact that in pro play, in premier tournaments, so Home Story Cup, DreamHack Atlanta, GSL, TSL 9, Zergs have a 61% win rate in ZVT out of like 150 games, 130 games, something like that. And Dark just added to the tab. Well, actually, he did because that was only premier tournament sets. The stat that I'm quoting, but even still, I can't get over the fact that map is statistically so Zerg favored when it doesn't look like it should be. But anyway, 1-1 on the way here for Cure. He's got his 4th base on the way because again, this one's free. I mean, you still have to spend the minerals money. We really don't have to commit to defending it. So Cure has his 4th base on the way. Dark has his as well, but as a Zerg, you almost never want to take this base. It's so droppable, and really, you rely on booming your economy a little bit faster. So by the way, folks, the infestation pit is going to be done right around the same time that the E-bays are done, which is Dark is going to have Hive done because I think that's what he's going for. His Hive is going to complete right around the same time as 1-1 completes, which is just hilarious. That is not how this normally works, but that's how Dark plays. When he's behind like this, when he plays games like this, he just says, yeah, we're going to go into the late game immediately. Have fun here. I think Cure is about to have a lot of fun. That being said, I look at this, it's like the army is scary, but the army supplies are somewhat equal. The 4th base will complete. Ling's not going to be able to deny that one, and you got to force a lift off there. SCV's pulled off the line, and now Cure's not doing too much. He's got to deal with this. But now we got a planetary on the way. SCVs are going to repair this. Ling's trying to do what they can, but they're not feisty. They're only 0-0 Lings. So they're going to have to rotate back, and Cure actually not doing all that much with this pressure. I thought he was going to commit more to it. He's going to get 1 queen, but the transfuse on the 2nd, so we get some roaches. Backs out. And the Hellions north side. Oh, they're not going to be able to deny that 5th base of Dark. Okay. So 2-2 on the way for Cure. 1-1 about halfway done for Dark, but again, we're going to have Hive finishing up with the first level of upgrades for the Zerg, which again, this is something that we only see in Dark games. I love it. And I really do appreciate the addition of Infestors in this game. When your economy, when your tech is maybe not the best, your upgrades are going to be behind, you were behind from everything that happened, you need to find ways to find value over time. Infestors are one of those. You drop fungals and you drop fungals. You can it means that your Ling Bane can trade more cost effectively. If Infestors stay alive through multiple fights, which is hard, they are 75 HP, 90 HP, and they have the armored tag. They do not last all that long. If they can stay alive through multiple fights, then the spells, they find value over time. They are excellent ways to come back into games. As we point out here, Dark is only on 72 workers. Granted, part of that is, of course, that he's on Roach Ravagerling Bane. That is a lower eco style. We got a push here from Cure on the left side. 3 tanks, some Hellbats, a bunch of Marines trying to find his way onto the 4th base. Banshees doing what they can to deny the 5th, but there are Queens where they need to be. So Cure a bit reticent about moving on to creep at the moment. Here comes Cure. He thinks he's got an opportunity. His 2-2 is 75% of the done of, oh, decent fungal, but not the best. And we're going to see Dark runs forward, he holds position. He says, oh, nope. I don't want to move into tank range. That's really, there's this line of, we saw him pause right here, this line of demarcation, where the tank range ends. Both players now maxed out. 2-2 just about done. +1 at mech attack for the tanks as well. So they're just going to kill Banelings that much quicker. And Hellbats run forward, but here Dark springing the trap at least a little bit. But we got to point out, he's really only setting himself up to take the fight from one side until right now. And there we go. Lings and Banes are going to come in from every side. This is going to be Dark's opportunity. Where are the Banelings? How are their connections? On top of the Marines, they're decent. As the Infested, they run forward. Funkles on the backside. Biles get dropped on top of everything. Tanks continue to fall, but the army of Cure is still dominant. Second round of tanks there. That Cure was not, or that Dark, was not able to knock down. There we go, but the Bio fighting so damn strong. It's 2-2 versus 1-1. And yeah, it looks like this will be dealt with for the moment, but resources lost. Actually, it's only 2K. That felt much better for Cure than maybe it ended up being. And Dark now, he's got +2 attack on the way. No armor. Didn't have the money for it. He's got Vipers on the way as well. So eventually he's going to be able to deal with this heavy tank count. But okay, Ling's going to surround a bunch of bio. You're going to have to pick up their tanks a little bit further backward. And Lings, they're feisty. Despite only being 1-1, they have Adrenal. So these are effectively 4-1 Lings. They don't last all that long, but they shred. So again, trying to get on top of things here is Cure's army supply right here is not incredible. Bane's going to come rolling on forward. There's only 1 tank here for the moment. Dark thinks he's got an opportunity. Big tank shot on the Banes on the right side, and that may be enough for Cure to push right on through, and I think it will. What do we got? We got a Ravager here. We got 18 Lings. We got some Vipers, but you need stuff to support the Vipers. Vipers support units. They don't do any damage. I mean, Parasitic Bomb, sure, but Dark has to tap out, and folks, we are going to go to Game 5 once again. Nothing, again, yeah, nothing super strange. Hatch gas pool. Reaper expand from Cure. Dark realizing that the Roach rush into a Ling flood after all is maybe not the best play. He's tried it twice, it didn't work twice. So with all the marbles on the line, EBT points, which again Katowice is sooner rather than later at this point. We've hit the halfway point of the year, and it's 5 months away, ish. Well, 5-6 months away from Katowice, so maybe we're at about that halfway point, actually. Reaper on the other side of the map, gonna try to knock something down. Notice, of course, the Dark has been going for 6 Ling openings really this entire series, and that's one of those things where you don't want to lose a Ling. 4 Ling openers, you're okay with it. You're like, okay, well, I'm gonna get an extra drone, so it's worthwhile. With 6 though, you really want to make sure that you do not sacrifice. And certainly you don't want to sacrifice 2. So good job there from Dark, getting a little, and it also allows you to get a little bit extra damage on the Reaper, so it's harder for the Reaper to deny that first creep tumor. CC 1-1-1 opener from here. So I'm somewhat surprised to see that 2 base all-ins or 2 base timings are really powerful on Inside and Out. And even more than that, Inside and Out has been showing, or in general, we saw the push to late game Turtle Terran. Maru showed us that in Valencia, and then Gumio showed us how powerful that could be at Home Story Cup, where he killed Cyril with it, which was insane. But as of late, we've started to see a lot of 2 base Terran timings. We saw that in the GSL. That was what knocked Rainer out of the GSL. And Inside and Out is by far, I don't know, I want to say it's the best map for it, but it is certainly up there as one of the maps that are just incredibly good in that style. There's so many good tank positions. You can go for these Marine tank timings. and it really does tend to pay off very well for the Terran player. So I'm surprised, I guess, to see Cure going for a build that tends to go into the late game, because generally when we see 3CC play in this meta, it does lead into a quick fourth. And that we just saw how powerful Dark was on Data C. Now, of course, there are less bases that you can take, which was part of the problem that Cure had. He just could not expand fast enough. Dark took too much of the map, and that was a problem. You really do only have 6 bases aside, maybe a 7th if the Zerg is able to take one from the Terran, but that is not enough to support a late game economy that you're really looking for here as the Zerg player. But notice Dark, he's aware of where the threats are, so we're going to see these rocks go down immediately, because this is a terrifying tank position right here that we see Terrans really siege up with for the most part. But Kirby got to point this out, and he's not doing anything with it, of course. There's no armory. He has been extremely judicious with his Hellions. They have not really... We'll often see Zergs, or Terrans, they sit on the edge of creep. Right, they try to make something happen there, but actually, Kira trying to dive into the natural. There are no lings here whatsoever. Drones are getting pulled into a corner. How good are your splits? Dark lings are going to have to rotate on over, but Hellions are ready into the mineral line, and actually, look at it. Now, there's a second round of this, so we're not going to say it's well handled just yet, but the start of this is incredibly well done. But Liberators on the third, that's starting to cause the problem. 4 workers have died, but if it's 4 workers for all these Hellions that really have got nothing done, I mean, mining time, sure. This is a... Oh, line up? No, okay, he's not going to dive in. This is a insane bit of crisis management. Okay, 5 workers die. And I think a couple larvae as well. So 9 total kills on that Liberator. That makes it somewhat worthwhile, especially considering half the Hellions survive. But the fact that Dark didn't lose a mineral line right there when all of his lings were here knocking down the rocks, that is an insane... That is a crazy bit of multitasking. Coming in from Dark. Really excellent crisis management. And maybe that shows that as much as he fell apart on Tropical and last game was not the best for him, maybe he feels like he's kind of taking a moment, screwed the headset back in, or screwed the bolts back on, or something. I don't know. There's some analogy. He's tightened the screws in his chair. He's all ratcheted in for what hopefully will be a banger game number 5. And if you're a Dark fan, hopefully a Dark victory. Because remember, folks, the difference here: you win, you get $200. You lose, you get $100. But you also get EPT points. And as we were talking about earlier, well, Katowice is coming up. If you're Dark, you're guaranteed Katowice, but you want to maximize your seeding. And we got to point out, there were several players, Hero, the most obvious one, Young as well, who had an insane run, that they qualified to Katowice because of their EPT victories throughout the year. Is like a decent trade there for Dark. Knocks down a lot of the Marines, but not all of them. As we got the Hellion run by into the 4th base, but Dark has just started building spines, and I really do like that against how Cure has been playing, but he still gets 6 workers despite that. And if you lose 6 workers and you've committed to a spine, and you lose all those lings, it's not nearly as nice. Okay. Bio stimming in, bottom side. Looks like this, I mean, there are just too many queens. So this base will be able to stay alive. His Cure, he's got his 1-1 done. His armory is a little bit slow, so he's going to be behind on his 2-2 upgrades, which is maybe not what you want. But what are we at barracks-wise? This is 5 ranks. I want to see some... Yeah, there we go. 4th base on the way. We need to see either 3 additional barracks or a 4th base. There we go. So Cure is progressing into the late game a little bit more, but he will knock this 4th base down. Dark does not want to defend. He's got a run by on the other side, but a tank is already sieged up, and Bio here is just all prepared. But friendly fire, maybe? No, not really. All the lings are going to go down. 4th base goes down here as well. Cure's a 50 supply right now, and Dark is just dead. Okay. We had a bunch of great games. Cure just kills a man. He shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. Dark falls. Cure again takes a 3-2 victory in an EPT Cup over Dark, and he's your champion here today.